Rivera comes set and delivers to Jasper. Ball in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Over to third, going to go Ben Gardner. On another wild pitch, Jasper ahead. 2-1. Jasper looking for his first base hit in this game. Rivera comes set and delivers the 2-1 to Jasper. Jasper pops this one up out of play over towards the tennis courts. Oh, no, I don't think it made the tennis courts.
Didn't make the tennis courts.
Wow. I'd have bet money that I was going to make the tennis courts when it was off his bat. That wind really knocked it down. Holy smokes. So a 2-2 count to Jasper Best. 5-0 Wildcats lead it. Got a little dirt in his eye. He's going to step out of the batter's box and reset.
That's from off the interstate, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said they pick up.
Wildcats scoring a run here on a solo shot by Connor Black. 2-2 misses high. It's like you talk about that stuff coming off the interstate, Coach. It's kind of like when you go to a NASCAR race or something. You get all that rubber on you, or if you go to a dirt track and you get the dirt on you and everything.
Exactly right. You'd be surprised how many vehicles pass out there.
Oh, man. The 3-2 misses outside, ball 4. So Jasper heads down to first with a walk. And we'll have him at the corners with 2 outs for Will Orr.
Now batting number 8, Will Orr.
He may bounce this one off the J.C. Williamson sign.
Very possible. Rivera comes set. He yanks that one. That's going to be foul. He was aiming for the Serve Pro sign. Jasper was off on the pitch.
Well, they're not holding him on, so why not?
No, yeah.
I would get a lead.
I'd get a massive lead. I'd get halfway to second base.
I hear Coach Best now. More. The
0-1 to Will is in the dirt. No throw down to second. Jasper moves up into scoring position.
Although I don't hear anybody off the bench over here saying, stand up, up, instead of slide.
Yeah. In a situation like that where there was no throw, would you tell somebody to slide just to see if they'd get dirty? That misses low. Gets past the catcher. Ricochets off the backstop. Feet first slide into home for Ben Gardner. And it is 6-0. Jasper Best goes over to third. Ben Gardner went to second, third, and home, all on wild pitches.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jasper went from first to third.
Yeah, on 2 wild pitches. Or I guess 1 wild pitch and a defensive indifference.
Mm-hmm.
So 6-0 Wildcats lead it here in the bottom of the second. Will Orr up to bat for our Wildcats. Ahead 2-1. Rivera kicks and delivers the 2-1. That misses outside, gets past the catcher. In to score is Jasper Best. And it is 7-0. And Will Orr ahead 3-1. Three-one count to Will Orr. Will Orr, who hit an RBI double in the first inning, which I believe still is our only RBI. Rivera kicks and delivers the 3-1. Will pops this one out of play foul over towards the tennis courts. It's going to fall just to the right of him. And that'll be a full count.
More foul balls.
Bunch of foul balls.
We've seen it in a while.
Uh-huh. Well, luckily, I think most of them are retrievable.
Yeah.
The payoff pitch to Will Orr. Check swing.
Wasn't a foul ball.
They're going to call it a foul ball.
He called it, but it wasn't a foul ball.
Yeah, they're going to call it a foul ball. So Will Orr get a second chance of life up there. That's what I was joking when we were at Villa Rica Middle School. You know, if you foul a ball off there, there's nowhere but woods for it to go.
That's right.
It's like, I got to figure out how much money they go through in balls. The 3-2, that's popped up over into deep first base, shallow right field. Wind playing tricks on the first baseman, but he's going to settle under it. The
Wow.
Wildcats push across 3. It's 7-0. Villa Rica leads it here on Hometown Sports Media Network.
Looking for a law firm that can handle criminal defense, personal injury, wrongful death, medical malpractice, domestic relationships, child custody, adoptions, or divorce? The Pilgrim Law Group is the firm for you. Mac Pilgrim and his group of attorneys will fight for you and work tirelessly to achieve the best result for you. The Pilgrim Law Group's clients have received over $13.5 million over the last 5 years. Give them a call at 770-459-9210 or go see them at 1 Community Square Boulevard, Suite 400 in Villa Rica. The Pilgrim Law Group, treating every case as if it were their own. Marine South is a full-line Mercury and Yamaha dealer. They sell new and used boats featuring Excel, the best-built aluminum boat on the market. Their factory-certified mechanics have over 40 years of experience. Speaking of servicing your boat, if you mention this ad, you'll get 10% off your maintenance parts of a full service. Give our friend Clay Harden a call at 770-832-3330 or go visit them at 1656 Highway 27 North in Carrollton.
Welcome back into Hometown Sports Media Network's presentation of high school baseball. As we head into the top of the third, Pittman, Smith, and Rivera do up 1-2-3 for Lithia Springs. Brody Blair still on the bump for our Wildcats.
Did you ever figure out who coined the phrase "the bump"?
Oh, no. I meant to look it up and got sidetracked with something else. Let's see. Bam, bam. A simple, informal way to describe, how did it? Glossary of baseball terms. My goodness. Oh, Lord, there's a whole story behind it. I'll have to look it up in a second. So, Pittman up to bat. He's going to look at ball 1. Curveball stayed outside. Pittman, the catcher, with a big rag hanging out of the back of his pocket that Chris Phillips goes and gets and tries to throw to the dugout. And the wind just knocks it down.
Yay!
He gave it a good evo. Oh, man. That's a curveball, misses outside. Ball 2. And Coach, some of these terms in baseball I've never even heard of. The Baltimore chop?
Yep.
Never heard of that.
That's a
There's a fastball, strike 1.
Baltimore chop is an infield hit that's hit and bounces real on the second bounces real high.
Baltimore chop?
Yep.
The hot stove?
Don't know that one.
That one misses. Ball 3. The hot stove, the magical period of the offseason, usually centered around winter meetings where free agents are signed and moves are made.
Stay around and then sign it around the hot stove.
Yeah. There's a fastball, runs it full. Brody staring in, letting that left hand dangle. Time called, granted by home plate umpire Chris Phillips.
I hope Chris ain't hurt. That foul ball got him on that left hand.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's another Sissy's trackside grill strikeout. Brody Blair's 6th Sissy's trackside grill strikeout. Well, none of those explained why it's called the bump.
Right.
First pitch to Smith, the DH. Strike 1 from Brody Blair. And Brody working quickly. The 0-1. Curveball, strike 2. I don't even think Ben had to move his glove for that one. That was perfect. And Brody stares in, gets the sign, comes set, kicks and delivers the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sissy is going to get her monies out of the advertisement tonight. That's another Sissy's trackside grill strikeout. That'll bring up leadoff hitter Rivera. All right, let's see. I'm in the BUs. Oh, it just says bump. The pitcher's mound. Who's on the bump? That doesn't explain it. Strike one to Rivera. Jeez. The 0-1. Check swing by Rivera.
Got a strike out of it.
They're going to say he went on it.
I've got to say that it's been the last few years since I heard the word bump,
Bump.
in baseball.
Yeah. Who's on the bump today?
You can't do it in softball.
Nope, no bump in softball. Flat ground.
Flat ground.
Although we've played on some baseball fields that don't have a bump. The 0-2 just misses a little high. Ball one. With some of the fields we go to, it's a softball field. It's just flat. There's no mound. There's nothing. And we got a pitch off of it. The 1-2 from Brody Blair. That's popped up into shallow right field.
Deeper than they thought.
Yep. Good adjustment from Will Wallace there in center to catch out number 3. We head to the bottom of the third. 7-0 Wildcats lead it here on Hometown Sports Media Network.
Knock spring out of the park with Don Rich Ford in Villa Rica. Bart Smith and his staff want you to shake off the winter blues and arrive to the ball fields in style this spring. Don Rich Ford and Villa Rica have been providing top-notch service to the West Georgia area for over 50 years. Don Rich Ford is conveniently located in the heart of Villa Rica at 221 East Montgomery Street. So give them a call at 770-459-5132 or stop by and browse their inventory. And don't forget to tell them the guys from Hometown Sports Media sent you. Need someplace to relax after a hard day? Sissy's Trackside Grill is just the place for you. Sissy's Trackside Grill is the perfect place to unwind, watch the game, and munch on some grub. Sissy's has everything you could ask for. Wings, burgers, pizza. They even have fish and chips for those British tourists making their way in Villa Rica. Sissy's was voted the best place for a Philly cheesesteak and best sports grill in West Georgia and was a finalist for best hamburger. So stop in at 14790 on 78 in Villa Rica and sample some of Sissy's fare.
Welcome back in to Hometown Sports Media Network's presentation of high school
Attaboy,
baseball.
Coach.
As number 14, Pearson is going to come on to pitch for the Lithia Springs Lions. Lithia Springs has made the Pico Volt call to the bullpen. So Pearson going to come in and pitches as Coach Mike Best over here retrieving foul balls. I believe that's number, I think that's 7 catching, isn't it?
I think so.
So Garrett's going to move to catcher. Let's go around the diamond and make sure everybody else is the same. Who's over at short now? What's on first?
I think the shortstop is a pitcher while ago, wasn't it?
Shortstop is number 2. We haven't seen him yet. Let's see. I don't have a roster. I just got to go. Oh, number 2 is not even. Number 2 is not even on the roster that they gave me.
Huh.
Did I read that wrong? I'm like 90% sure that's 2. That is a 2. Yeah. All right. Weems still at third. He's undeniable. Rivera is at, or excuse me, I was talking about second. You're right. Rivera is at short, Coach. Rivera, who was the pitcher. And the outfield for Lithia Springs is different as well. Cooper goes over to left. See about center and right. Oh, as my defensive sheet blows away. Oh, no. All right. 2 is.
Now batting number 14, Maddox Keaton.
So they have changed up. They have completely changed up their defense. Maddox Keaton steps up to bat for our Wildcats. 15 is out and right. And 1 is still in center. Didn't have a 15 originally on here. They have switched everybody up. So Maddox Keaton up for our Wildcats. First pitch that Keaton sees, pops it up to left field. Wins playing tricks in the left fielder. Long run, and it's off his glove and down. Over to second's going to go Keaton. Ball gets overthrown by the second baseman, but backing him up is the first baseman. And Keaton will be over at second with a leadoff double here for our Wildcats. That, once again, Coach, was probably going to be just a lazy pop-up. The wind caught it and forced Cooper, who's playing left now, to make a long run.
And the wind is blowing hard. Old Glory up here about 30 yards from me is stiff.
So 15 is over to right. That's Wilson. They changed everything up on me. Austin Wilson steps in there.
Didn't realize they brought that many players.
Well, they didn't. They only changed one, but then they changed where everybody was playing.
Yeah.
The substitutes they made, there was only one substitute,
Yeah.
but they changed everything else defensively. The 1-0. That's hit off the end of the bat over towards Coach Wade Bailey, making a good athletic defensive play over there.
Made the play.
They sure
Made the
did.
play. Have too many ECs.
Actually, they got a lot this year, Coach.
Yeah,
You're right.
He made the play then. That's
We got a lot of ECs this year. Pearson comes set and delivers. That one's low in the dirt. Ball 2 to Austin Wilson. 7-0 Wildcats lead it here in the bottom of the third. Maddox Keaton led this inning off with a double. Stepping off the back of the mound is Pearson. Keaton scampers back to second. Pearson checks Keaton at second and delivers. That one misses outside. Ball 3. Austin Wilson way ahead here. Austin walked in his only appearance so far today at the plate. Walked in the first. 3-1 count here. Pearson checks the runner and delivers. That one catches a little bit of the outside part of the zone. Strike 2, and it's a full count. Does Pearson have on different pants than everybody else?
I think so. He got
sure
a stripe.
does.
Got a stripe down it.
Yeah, he's got
It's almost like it's sweatpants.
piping down
Yeah.
the side. Nobody else does. The 3-2. Knobs this one off the end of the bat over towards Rivera. Short, mishandles it. Safe at first is Austin Wilson. Over to third goes Maddox Keaton. So our Wildcats got him at the corners with Mr. GQ, William Braveheart Wallace.
GQ, Braveheart, Wallace.
Yep. It's tricky, 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 tricky. It's tricky to rock around. That's right on time. It's tricky.
Don't give up your day job. I bet he goes.
I would say you're right. Will puts one in left field. It gets down. It's going to roll into the corner. One run is in. Around third comes Austin Wilson. 2 runs are in. And Will Wallace stands over at second with a 2 RBI double. His second RBI of the game. Or his second double of the game, excuse me. And it is 9-0. Our Wildcats lead it here in the bottom of the third.
Was 15 after 3?
I think so.
10 after 4.
I believe so. So Will now 2 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs. That'll bring up Henry Brookshire. Henry 0 for 2 on the day. Stares at ball 1. Henry has gotten the first out in both innings so far today. Hopefully he bucks that trend here. Pearson checks Will over at first and delivers the 1-0 to Henry. Off to third goes Will. Foul ball. That was a hot shot over to Coach.
Nah, no matter. He should have made the play. EC. EC.
That was a hot shot,
Yeah.
Coach.
Error on the coach.
That's a line.
Error on the coach. That's the only way to look at it.
At least he's got fast enough reflexes to get out of the way of it. I don't know if I could have gotten out of the way of that one. I just stood there and got drilled in the leg. The 1-1 to Henry. Off to third goes Will. It's a bouncer over towards third. And that was just in a perfect place. Weems picks it up and slaps the tag on Will. Bang, bang play. Nothing you really could have done there.
Remind me to tell you something.
All right. Will was stealing third, and Will arrived right next to Weems as soon as Weems picked it up for out number 1.
Now batting number 11, Cooper Robinson.
Not much you could have done there.
No.
I'll bring up Cooper Robinson. Off to second goes Brookshire. Henry will swipe second base with a stolen base. Ball 1 to Cooper Robinson.
I had some questions the other day about this past week
Huh?
about stealing first base.
That could go in that baseball stories article that I was just reading. The 1-0 bounce towards third, over towards the tarp.
Goes to
Is that
DNT.
what is that? Did not try. I was giving Coach Bailey a hard time before the game began. You know, they got that wooden, it looks like a lifeguard chair, like a wooden lifeguard chair in the dugout.
Right.
I said, you need to put an engine on it and some all-terrain tires. That one's popped foul out of play over towards the tennis courts. I said, you need to put some all-terrain tires in that thing, put an engine on it and a little joystick, and you can, like, drive around in it.
Oh, heck yeah.
So that'd be pretty cool. Over at second, Henry Brookshire. 1 out. Coop at the plate, 1-2 count, 9-0. Wildcats lead it. Pearson comes set, kicks and delivers the 1-2. That one's
Behind him.
it's so inside it was outside.
Behind him. Thank goodness he didn't back up.
Pitches like that cross me up for a second because you're not used to seeing stuff like that. I'm like, was that inside or outside?
And
Or was it both?
it could have been the wind blowing it.
I don't know. The 2-2. That one spiked into the dirt, gets past the catcher. Over to third goes Brookshire.
This is a kind of park, the way the fence is behind home plate. This is the kind of park, if it hits at an angle, it could go down third base line,
Yeah.
down first base line. And that in that case, he could have just kept running.
Concrete. I mean, it's what, probably a 3 foot tall, 2.5 foot tall concrete wall here in the
1,
backstop.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
9 foot, man, that's pretty tall. That one's
10 cement brick.
that one's in the dirt. Ball 4, Cooper Robinson. So runners on the corners for our Wildcats with 1 out.
10 brick high.
10 bricks high. How wide is a brick? Is that about 3 inches?
Now batting number 6, Connor Black.
About 4 inches wide.
2.5 tall?
About 2.5, maybe 3 inches tall, and about 8 inches long.
If we had a math wizard, we'd be able to figure out how tall this wall was.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Connor Black stepping up to bat. Connor 2 for 2 on the day. Singled and scored, and then hit a solo shot in the second. First pitch to Connor is hammered into left field, but almost an atom ball right at Cooper out there, but it's going to be a productive out as tagging and scoring is Henry Brookshire. Back to first goes Coop. Coop was on the move on the swing. So Connor will get a sac fly and an RBI.
Now batting number
That'll
12,
bring up
Ben Gardner.
Bring up Ben Gardner. As the Wildcats head now 10-0.
The question is, does he go? And the answer is yes, because he's not even holding him on.
No, he's not. Now he's sort of holding them on. It's like a half effort hold on.
He don't go. Wow.
That one misses low. Ball 1 to Ben. That was sort of a half effort hold on right
Yeah.
there.
Now the guy's holding him on.
Now he's properly holding them on. Pearson checks in, delivers the 1-0. That's yanked third base.
Ooh, good
Weems
play.
has a good play by Weems. Throws in the dirt, scoots past first base. Around second goes Coop. Over to second goes Ben. So Cooper Robinson will be at third. Ben Gardner will be at second. And that'll bring up Jasper Best. Good scoop with the glove over at third with Weems. The throw is just a little low.
Yeah.
And Walters at first couldn't dig it out.
They gonna give Coach Bailey a hard time now because of his sunglasses
Uh-oh. Who?
being on.
Oh.
Sun's almost down, Coach.
Yeah, you don't need those anymore.
Well, he took them off. How about that? He took them off.
First pitch to Jasper in the dirt. Good block from Garrett behind the plate.
I guess he's got a radio on and hearing us.
The 1-0 to Jasper. Swing and a miss, strike one, and a breaking ball from Pearson. Bottom of the third, 2 outs. 10-0 Wildcats lead it. Runners on second and third. Pearson kicks and delivers the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Don't hit it too hard.
I have been known to break.
Yeah, let's say we heard that story at the East Paulton game. That was bizarre.
It was.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Ball out in front of the catcher. Throw down to first. Gets Jasper for out number 3. Wildcats push across 3 more. It's 10-0 heading into the top of the fourth here on Hometown Sports Media Network.
Amazing things are happening at Healthcare 316 in Bremen and Carrollton. From traditional family medicine to groundbreaking techniques like physiologic insulin resensitization. Healthcare 316 is the perfect place for your family. PIR is groundbreaking, and it proves Healthcare 316's commitment to helping their patients be healthy, not just treating their symptoms to keep them in the system. PIR is so groundbreaking, only 46 clinics in the country are certified to perform it. It has been proven to repair neuropathy related to diabetes, improve diabetic control, hypertension, weight control, metabolic function, cholesterol issues, and can even improve your vision. Even improvement for patients with MS and Parkinson's. Plus, Healthcare 316 has an amazing new kids corner where pediatric specialists are taking new patients right now. Go see them in Carrollton or in Bremen at Healthcare 316.
Smash your thirst with an incredible pulp lemonade. Whenever you hear a Hometown Sports Media play-by-play guy say, that's another incredible pulp smash.
That is an incredible pulp smash, 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 smash.
And then hear some big fat guy growl. Well, then you know you've seen a big hit on the gridiron. Whenever I see the Incredible Pulp Lemonade trailer, I know it is a premier game of the week, and I'm getting me some lemonade. Everything you get today has artificial ingredient, not Incredible Pulp Lemonade. It's fresh squeezed lemons, filtered water, and sugar, and it's delicious. And it's made by a man, Steve Walker, who loves supporting youth athletics in West Georgia. So next time you see the Incredible Pulp trailer, make sure you stop and get yourself an Incredible Pulp Lemonade.
Welcome back into Hometown Sports Media Network's presentation. Oh. On the Morning 5 podcast scoreboard, East Paulding up over South Paulding 6-3 in the bottom of the fourth. And then the Kennesaw State Mustangs up on Alexander 2-0 midway through the second. Both of those games very surprising. Not at all how I expected either one of those to go. Huh. That's a little shocking.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if Lithia Springs don't score this time, it's a ball game.
Is it 10 after 4 or 10 after 5?
It may be after 5.
I think it's 15 after 4, 10 after 5.
I believe it is instead of 4.
8 after 6, I
Yes.
think. Yeah. So Brady comes up. Brady struck out and is only at bat. Brody kicks and delivers. Brady squares around the bunt down the third base. Connor is charging, throws over to first. Great play from Connor Black in a fantastic stretch at first from Will Orr. That really was a pretty bunt from Brady down the third base line. Connor came charging in and just flung it over to first.
Well, he did more than flung it. He had direction and speed.
Nice play from Connor Black at third base.
I don't think that the youth of our communities practice that much.
They don't practice it much, probably because they don't bunt a whole ton in baseball really anymore. Strike one.
Well, it's the swinging bunt that gets involved with it, but anything is slow roller.
The 0-1 hit over towards the right side, foul.
Being a slow roller is a lot of difference in hitting the ball fairly.
Slow rollers, I've always said, are harder to field than hot shots. Like anytime you don't have to think about it, it's easier to field it than when you do have to think about it.
Right.
And Brody shakes off the first one, shakes off. Well, I couldn't tell if he shook off or nodded at the second one. The 0-2 in the dirt. Thinking about swinging was Cooper, but he pulled the bat back for ball one. Yeah, that's what I've always said. Anytime kids have time to think about something they should do, bad stuff happens.
Right.
This is high, 2-2. I want that reaction, just reactionary stuff.
Don't think, react.
Yeah. That's why you'll see a lot of kids make spectacular plays and then just kind of muff the easy ones. The 2-2 popped right field. Jasper had him played well. He catches it for out number 2.
You know, the big thing with kids especially, and it's been my thing for a long, long time, you know, look for the fastball, hit the curve.
Right, yep.
Your body is moving on the pitch, and if it's slower than a fastball, then you still got enough arm strength and bat speed to get the ball through the infield.
First pitch to Weems. Check swing.
Called it a ball. Right. Nope.
So he didn't go.
I love it. Umpire, did he go?
The 1-0 to Weems. Went that time. Strike one. Weems has got to have a huge strike zone.
He does.
The 1-1. Curveball inside, ball 2.
Almost got him on the foot,
Sure did.
the back foot.
Wonder how tall he is.
He's 6'5", 6'6".
He's a big young man. The 2-1. Fouled back off of Ben Gardner. Chris Phillips going to go out and walk to the mound, brush the plate off.
Don't brush the plate off.
People like Weems always look taller because they're skinny.
Yeah.
I don't look as tall as he does because I'm not skinny. But we're probably the same height.
Depends on what you call skinny.
That's skinny. I'm not skinny. I'm not. I've never been mistaken for that. The 2-2. That's bounced over towards second. Coop's going to have it. And over to first goes Weems. 1-2-3 goes Lithia Springs in the top of the 4th. We head to the bottom. 10-0 Wildcats lead it here on Hometown Sports Media Network.
Villa Rica First Baptist is a proud sponsor of Carroll County Athletes and Athletics. Villa Rica First Baptist Church is a place where people can meet Jesus, engage in life-giving community, and everyone is welcome. We believe in creating a space where people can have authentic encounters with Christ, discover their gifts, and use them for God's glory. Join us for our Sunday services at 8:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. located at 1483 on Highway 78 in Villa Rica. Villa Rica First Baptist Church. We are family.
Need someplace to relax after a hard day? Sissy's Trackside Grill is just the place for you. Sissy's Trackside Grill is the perfect place to unwind, watch the game, and munch on some grub. Sissy's has everything you could ask for. Wings, burgers, pizza. They even have fish and chips for those British tourists making their way in Villa Rica. Sissy's was voted the best place for a Philly cheesesteak and best sports grill in West Georgia and was a finalist for best hamburger. So stop in at 14790 on 78 in Villa Rica and sample some of Sissy's fare.
Welcome back into Hometown Sports Media Network's presentation of high school baseball. I want to remind you about all of our great sponsors. Without them, none of these broadcasts would be possible. Our title premier sponsor this year on the Wildcat Network, Surf Pro of West Georgia. Give them a call if you're in the Carrollton, Heard County, or Haralson County area and need fire or water damage restoration. Pilgrim Law Firm, Blackwater Technology, Marine South, Incredible Pulp Lemonade, John Thornton Buick GMC, Deep South Roofing, Smith Floor Coverings, Uncle Don's Dapper Pomade, Villa Rica First Baptist, Healthcare 316, Spa 316, Don Rich Ford in Villa Rica, Sissy's Trackside Grill, Fun Tool, Kia of LaGrange, Pico Volt Electrical Contractors, and the Morning 5 Podcast. Will Orr, Maddox, Keaton, and Austin Wilson do up 1-2-3 for our Wildcats here in the bottom of the 4th. Will Orr 1 for 2 on the day, doubled in an RBI in the first, and then flew out to first base in the third.
I see Ken folks all around me.
Oh, yeah? Who else you got?
Jeffrey Wallace down there talking to Michael.
You know, we were leaving the baseball game at East Paulding last week, and he had to stay there for a couple more hours because of the track meet.
Exactly.
He was the admin on duty for Hiram. That's yanked into left field, back behind the left fielder.
Great catch.
And great catch. What a catch in left field from Cooper.
Again, it was one of those atom balls.
Yep. Out number one. I assume that's Cooper still in left field. I don't know. They keep changing defensive alignments on me.
Well, the big thing was now the Old Glory is blowing. It wasn't blowing when you hit it.
It is Cooper. No, it wasn't. I'll bring up Maddox Keaton. Keaton 1 for 1 on the day. First pitch, Keaton sees. Change up, strike one.
Now, how can you tell that's a changeup?
I just guessed. I hope that wasn't a fastball.
I'm afraid it was.
The 0-1, outside, ball one. I was talking to Jeffrey after we got done. I said, "Are you staying?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm the admin on duty for Hiram Track and Field here." I was like, "Oh, man, that's going to be a long night for you."
And he don't even teach or be an administrator at Hiram.
The 1-1. That catches the outside part of the zone, strike two.
Well, Chris has said now, made it point blank. If it's close, you better swing.
Yeah. I don't blame him. 10-0, bottom of the fourth. Absolutely. The 1-2. That's popped up right up the chimney chute. Pitcher calls everybody off, and he catches it for out number 2. Almost collides with his shortstop. But Pearson's going to catch it for out 2, and that'll bring up Austin Wilson. Wildcats did a bunch of damage in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. So we'll see if we can do a lot of damage here in the bottom of the fourth. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Good song.
Yeah, never heard it before, though, but it sounded good.
That's Ice Ice Baby, Coach.
Oh, okay.
First pitch to Austin Wilson, ball one. By Vanilla Ice. Ice Ice Baby. Yo, stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. The 1-1 swung on, foul back into the mitt of Garrett for strike one.
Well, I went one time fishing with no ice, but after that, that's about all ice I could ever think
Grips
of.
a hold of me tightly, flows like a heartbeat daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. The 1-1 to Austin Wilson, swung on and missed, strike two. Austin Wilson behind here, 1-2, having to battle back. The scoreboard out here at Villa Rica freaked out for a second. Now it's back. The 1-2.
Maybe the guy running.
Austin pops this one out of play, foul over towards the softball field. Just going to one-hop the net over there. We'll reset and do it again. Something grabs a hold of me tightly. I'm going to have that song in my head all night, Coach. Pearson gets the sign, comes set. Kicks and delivers the 1-2. That's hit right to the shortstop and a great catch. Shortstop climbed the ladder and snagged a base hit away from Austin Wilson. So the Wildcats go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fourth. We head to the fifth, 10-0. Wildcats lead it on Hometown Sports Media Network.
Villa Rica First Baptist is a proud sponsor of Carroll County Athletes and Athletics. Villa Rica First Baptist Church is a place where people can meet Jesus, engage in life-giving community, and everyone is welcome. We believe in creating a space where people can have authentic encounters with Christ, discover their gifts, and use them for God's glory. Join us for our Sunday services at 8:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. located at 1483 on Highway 78 in Villa Rica. Villa Rica First Baptist Church. We are family.
Hi friends, it's T.O.D.D. here at Keeler Grange. This month, I am featuring the all-new 25K4. It's not just a car, it's a statement. The interior is spacious and sophisticated and truly refines the comfort. The K4 will keep you connected with its awesome tech features, which makes driving easy peasy. The K4 starts at only $23,975. Yes, you heard me, $23,975 for these awesome sedans. Check us out online at KeelerGrange.com. Help support your local economy, and God bless America.
Welcome back in to Hometown Sports Media Network's presentation of high school baseball. Throw down the second is a beauty from Ben Gardner. We start at the top of the fifth. Wilson, Garrett, and Walters do up 1-2-3 for Lithia Springs. As Brody Blair still on the bump for our Wildcats. I'll figure out, I'll look it up tomorrow. I'll do some research. Fouled back off of Ben Gardner for strike one. Ben getting beat up tonight again. I feel like I make that comment every night.
Yeah, Chris is trying to slow it down, everything. So, especially when a catcher gets hit, that's the umpire supposed to be doing.
He's smiling over to the dugout.
He and Coach Best over there having a
Coach Best giving him a hard time. Hey, Coach Best was giving Ben a hard time. Telling him to get back in there and catch the ball.
exactly.
And the 0-1 from Brody Blair. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Good breaking ball broke away from Coach Best comes and retrieves the foul ball.
It wasn't 5 foot behind the catcher. Coach Best comes 30 yards out to get the ball and give it to him.
Brody comes set, kicks and delivers the 0-2. Foul tip back into the catcher's mitt of Ben Gardner for a Sissy's trackside grill strikeout.
How many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, wow.
8 strikeouts over 4 1/3. So if he strikes out the side here, he will have averaged 2 strikeouts per inning. And starts Garrett off with a strike. The 0-1 from Brody Blair. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Brody working quickly, gets back on the rubber, comes set, kicks and delivers the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. That's another Sissy's trackside grill strikeout. He's got 9 of them. Strikeout here, and I think it's ball game. As we're going to get a pinch hitter, number 19, and that is Petard. Oh, Lord. Number 19, Petard. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Chris didn't take one step toward Villarica dugout. He just yelled out the number and name. Pinch hitter.
Lefty-lefty matchup, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike two. Ten to nothing, Wildcats lead it here in the top of the fifth. Brody shakes off the first, nods at the second, kicks and delivers. Ball one. Oh, man. Coach, Brody Blair was 1 strike away from an immaculate inning.
Well, there's a reason for that.
And that misses outside. Evens up the count 2-2. And Brody comes set, kicks and delivers the 2-2. Throws him, strike three. That is a Sissy's trackside grill strikeout, and that is how the ball game ends. 10 to nothing. Wildcats victorious over Lithia Springs, region opponent. Move to 5-0 in the region. Coach, I don't think we need to take a break for our player of the game.
No,
it's pretty obvious. I think it's Brody Blair.
I think so, too.
Brody Blair pitched 5 shutout innings, allowed 1 over the minimum, and struck out 10. Nice to see Brody bounce back after the outing at East Paulding, where he didn't pitch bad. He just got into some jams. They hit some infield singles, had to bring Will Orr in. Love to see Brody bounce back because that's a left-handed pitcher we're going to need in crunch time against some of these region opponents and in the playoffs.
Right.
Coach, you got any final thoughts on our 10-0 victory over the Lithia Springs Lions?
I thought they played well, took advantage of a lot of things. Let's face it, Lithia Springs is an up-and-coming baseball program, and they'll get better. But just they've run up against a bunch in Villa Rica that's a little bit better than they are, and they showed it. We got to go play them again Friday, I think, and at their place. So, that's the bottom line. You don't want to show them up. You want to do your best and let them do their best and let the cards fall where they may.
That's right.
So
we had an update on the TM5. East Paulding 7-4 over South Paulding. And Kennesaw Mountain and Alexander tied 2-2. Kennesaw Mountain State. I keep calling them Kennesaw State. It's in the bottom of the third. So those are two very interesting scores that I know Wildcat fans will want to keep an eye on. For Casey Bass, for Clay Harden, for all of our fantastic sponsors, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Bryce Sparling. Here with me is Verlin Best. We will see you all. I will see you on Monday. I will be up at Kennesaw Mountain on Monday. I'm going to travel up there for that one. And I think the next broadcast we have at home will be next Wednesday. So you'll hear my voice Monday up at Kennesaw Mountain, and then you'll hear me and Verlin on the Wildcat Network on Wednesday. Have a wonderful, safe night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And as always, fins up.